I call to order this meeting of the Urbana City Council. It's Monday, September 16th, 2019. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Council members Brown.
Here.
Hazen.
Here.
Hersey.
Here.
Jacobson.
Here.
Miller.
Here.
Roberts.
Here.
Wu.
Here.
Mayor Marlowe.
Here. Next up is approval of minutes from the previous meeting of September 3rd, 2019. Is there a motion for approval?
So moved. I'll second.
Moved by Jared, seconded by Dean. Are there any corrections? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. That motion passes. Are there any additions to the agenda? Okay. Any presentations? I don't believe any are scheduled tonight.
Yeah, Mayor, I was
Yes.
going to do a presentation potentially at the end of the meeting about my recent sister city trip to Africa, but I'm going to do that next week because I haven't been able to pull together all the materials yet.
Okay, thank you. Public input. I have cards from Dr. Evelyn Underwood, Reverend Dr. Evelyn Underwood. She is speaking on, or she's expressing concern about the Dr. Ellis subdivision sewers. They're continually concerned about the Dr. Ellis subdivision sewer problems. Also a public input card from Eldris Melinda Carr, expressing continued concerns about the Dr. Ellis subdivision sewer issues, equity, and historic input. I have a card from Jason Rock. And he's speaking on cycling infrastructure. You have 5 minutes.
Yep. Okay, so I want to share some videos with you and also a recent, some conclusions from a recent publication that looked at Toronto as a case study, and I think that it's applicable to some of the bicycle infrastructure stuff that we have here. So I want to open this up by showing you this video that I took on Country Club Road. And so the reason I want to show this video is that Country Club Road right now doesn't have any real infrastructure for cyclists. But as you can see, people are using this road as a way to get between Urbana and to the communities on the other side of Cunningham. So these are 5 relatively young, probably teenage age kids, maybe a little bit younger, that would have used a separated bike path if there was one, but there wasn't. So what I did is I sat myself up right in the middle of that road so that no one would pass them too closely, because frankly, people on this road go too fast. And I mean, they did everything right from the perspective of they were on the right side of the road. They tried to avoid this road as long as they could. They came from that neighborhood instead of riding up and staying on this road for longer. But the problem, and this is the problem that this case study of Toronto looked at, was while most of the city streets and paths have low level of traffic stress, the high level of traffic stress arterials create islands limiting the area people can access without cycling on or crossing high stress streets. These high stress streets create these small communities where you can cycle, and so the distance that you can cycle safely and effectively is limited by these high stress streets rather than a cutoff of time or a cutoff of distance. And they looked at, so it's in Toronto, so they looked at how many jobs people could get to, and they showed basically that because of these high level of traffic stress streets, people weren't able to get to a large number of jobs. And if these high level of stress streets were fixed or avoided in some way, more people could get to more jobs. So I want to pull up the bike map that exists for Urbana. And so this looks pretty good. There's a lot of blue on this map. So I put a circle up here, which is about 1.5 miles. That's about 10 minutes on a bike. The problem that Urbana has is that we, similarly to Toronto, have these high TLS roads and intersections which cut up our community. So I've only marked up a handful of roads here. That's University, Vine, Cunningham, Country Club Road, Lincoln, and Springfield. But those roads effectively cut our community into 4 or 5 spaces where it's safe to cycle within, but not particularly safe to cycle between. So I want to show you why, or one of the reasons why this is high stress. So this is someone who, the light is going to turn red right here. This person here is going to run this red light blatantly and excessively, and in fact, doesn't even clear the intersection totally before cross traffic gets a green. That's the sort of thing that causes deadly accidents. If you're in a car, it creates extremely 100% deadly accidents if you're biking. And again, this is where those kids cross this street. So those kids that rode along Country Club Road, they came to this crosswalk right here. This isn't the day that they were there, but they came to this crosswalk here and crossed this road in this crosswalk. So this person that ran through this red light theoretically put those kids at risk.
You have 30 seconds, Jason.
Yeah. So another thing that happens at Country Club and Cunningham is that people will fail to yield. So here I'm going to get a crosswalk signal. I start to cross, and this person turning left doesn't yield to me at all, cuts right in front of me. And yeah, I yell at people. So I think that's about my time, so thank you. We need to think about how to connect up these neighborhoods. We can't continue to have these things cutting apart our neighborhoods.
Thank you, Jason.
Does anyone else wish to address the Urbana City Council?
Oh,
Eric?
I'd just like to ask a question. Jason, can you make your materials available to us?
Yes.
That you used on, that you showed?
Yes, I was going to send them to
Right, perfect.
And the city clerk will distribute. Is there any unfinished business? I don't believe we have any. Reports of standing committees? Okay. Reports of special committees? None. Reports of officers? I did have a couple of announcements. One, we were pleased to announce today that Downtown Urbana Historic District has been added to the National Register of Historic Places. So this is a very nice step toward assistance toward preservation and renovation of our downtown buildings. Provides some extra financial incentives for those working in our downtown. So we're very pleased for that. I wanted to thank staff members Marcus Ricci and Lori Pearson for their leadership in this, along with members' assistance and support from the Historic Planning Commission, and with special support from Councilmember Dennis Roberts, who's been advocating for this for a number of years. So the and actually from Dan Maloney, who owns the Cohen Building, who's working on renovating that building, and who actually was the one who kind of got this ball really rolling by requesting this designation. So we hope that this will help other people who want to invest in our downtown, and we're very proud of this designation. Secondly, I want to remind people that this Wednesday, September 18th, between 10 and 11, is the Coffee with the Mayor right here in the City Council chambers, and it's our celebration, our special celebration of Welcoming Week in Champaign-Urbana. These efforts are being led by the New American Welcome Center and many, many other groups who are working with our immigrant and international population. So September 18th, anybody's welcome. Stop by for coffee, pastries right here in the chamber, and we're decorated and ready to go. So, okay, new business. First up is a number of resolutions, and I think we can take these in omnibus fashion, but we had no committee meeting last week, and there are 6 resolutions before us tonight. And the first thing we need to do is suspend the resolution on resolutions. So is there a motion to do so?
I'll make that motion to suspend the resolution on resolutions.
Okay.
Second.
Moved by Dennis, seconded by Sharice. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Okay, we can consider those resolutions tonight. So there are 6 intergovernmental agreements. 4 of them are related to media services, and 1 is related to IT services, and then 1 is related to the outdoor warning sirens. So we're going to take the first 5. They're all in the same format. They're all covered by the memo you received from IT Director Sanford Hess. And Sanford is here tonight along with Jason Liggett, and they'll be happy to answer any questions. Or did you want to make remarks first?
Mayor, you should read the
Yes.
5 resolutions first.
Okay. So the 5 resolutions before you are Resolution Number 2019-9-034R. Sorry. Got to turn my- Resolution approving an intergovernmental agreement with the Housing Authority of Champaign County for media production services. Number 2 is a resolution number 2019-09-035R, a resolution approving an intergovernmental agreement with the Urbana Park District for information technology services. Resolution number 2019-09-036R, resolution approving an intergovernmental agreement with the Urbana Park District for media production services. Resolution number 2019-09-037R, a resolution approving an intergovernmental agreement with the Urbana Free Library for media production services. Resolution number 2019-09-038R, a resolution approving an intergovernmental agreement with the Urbana School District 116 for media production services. I would make a note, the media production services resolutions are all related to the services that UPTV provides in recording the meetings for the various agencies, and they are now paying a fee for those services. Prior to this, we were providing it free of charge. And then the intergovernmental agreement with the Housing Authority, well, that's 1 too. The intergovernmental agreement with the Park District is a longstanding service that we've provided for IT there. And again, they will be paying for that service.
And in the last case, they were paying for the IT services. We just had not updated the agreement since 1991, so it was fairly out of date.
Okay. Any other comments, Jason or Sanford?
No, I don't have anything else to add. I think you covered it.
I will say that the 4 media service ones are identical, and in addition to recording, we also edit and do some post-production services as well.
Dennis, you had a question?
Yeah, and so I guess we're charging them by 30-minute segments, or is it by the hour? And what would be the fee for the services that is typical?
Yeah, the fee for the services goes along with the City of Urbana's schedule of fees, which is $50 an hour for our paid production. We round that to the nearest half hour, depending on the boards and commissions. For instance, the Board of Education meets 22 times a year, so we bill them a higher amount than what we would bill all the other boards and commissions meet 12 times a year.
Thank you.
Bill?
If they end up having a lot of special meetings, we actually track the hours of the meetings, or do we just charge them an annual fee based on what they expect to meet for the year?
We charge them the annual fee based on what they expect to meet per year. If there is a scenario where there's additional special meetings, we'll come back to that agreement, and we're able to bill them the $50 an hour rate.
Okay, thanks.
Sharice?
And all these meetings are archived on particular servers, or like the City of Urbana, we keep it archived on a server?
Correct. So the City of Urbana's meetings, the boards and commissions, council meetings are on the city's servers. With these meetings, they're all uploaded to our YouTube channel, which is also back-ended by archive.org. So
Okay.
they're on YouTube and on archive.org.
Okey-doke.
Any other questions? So I will entertain a motion, and the language is in front of you.
I'd make a motion to consider those 5 resolutions, 2019-09-3R through 2019-09-38R in omnibus fashion.
I will second the motion.
Moved by Jared, seconded by Dean. Are there, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? That motion passes.
I'll follow that up with a motion for approval.
I'll
Okay.
second.
Go ahead.
Was that
Bill.
Dean or Jared?
It was me and Bill.
Bill.
Who was
Jared.
the second?
Bill.
Bill.
Bill Brown.
Okay. Could we have a roll call vote?
Okay, on the omnibus. Councilmembers Brown?
Yes.
Hazen?
Yes.
Hersey?
Yes.
Jacobson?
Yes.
Miller?
Yes.
Roberts?
Yes.
And Wu.
Yes.
That motion passes. Next up is resolution number 2019-09-039R, which is a resolution approving an intergovernmental agreement with the City of Champaign, Metcalfe, Champaign County, the Village of Savoy, the University of Illinois for the installation and maintenance of digital outdoor warning sirens. Carol?
Yeah, I just, in addition to the memo that you have, I would just say that these outdoor warning sirens were initially installed following the 1996 tornado in Champaign County, and there was a grant that we received. And at that time, decisions were made about where the warning sirens would go, and Urbana has a greater density of sirens than the other jurisdictions, which is why we have almost the same number as Champaign. You might have noticed, even though we don't have the same land area. So now there's a need to upgrade the system, even though we're all paying our share, in order to allow for the system to become digitized and respond automatically to tornado warnings that come from the National Weather Service. I'm happy to answer any other questions, but that's the gist of it. And so everyone who's a party to the system, we have to act in concert, because if someone doesn't want to upgrade their portion, then no one can upgrade their portion.
You had a question, Bill?
Yeah, just a couple questions on how it works. So before it was a manually operated system, so somebody would trigger it, and would they all go off in both cities in Savoy? They'd all go off at the same time, or
That was the practice, yes, because the way the warnings would come in, it was by county, and now they have this polygon system that is based on what they're seeing on radar, and so they can actually adjust it to individual sirens if they choose to.
Okay, so
And
maybe just Southwest Champaign will get a warning, and
Yes.
Urbana won't get anything or something?
Yes.
Do you know how the small towns in the area are doing it? I know they have fire sirens and stuff that they use. Do they each have their own individual that is responsible for triggering it, or are they hooked into Metcalfe somehow?
I don't know about how anyone who's not a party to this agreement functions.
Yeah, just, if it's one software system that is good for a lot of different sirens, maybe they'll be interested in joining that too, I don't know.
Perhaps, yeah.
Okay.
Any other questions? Can we have a motion?
I move to accept, the resolution number 2019-09-039R, a resolution approving an intergovernmental agreement with the City of Champaign, Metcalfe, Champaign County, Village of Savoy, and the University of Illinois for the installation and maintenance of digital outdoor warning sirens.
I second the motion.
Moved by Sharice, seconded by Eric. Is there any further discussion? Will the clerk please call the roll?
Councilmembers Brown?
Yes.
Hazen? Yes. Hersey?
Yes.
Jacobson?
Yes.
Miller?
Yes.
Roberts?
Yes.
And Wu.
Yes.
That motion passes. Next up are several mayoral appointments. The first is to the Building Safety Code Board of Appeals. I'm submitting for your approval Daryl Price. He's a resident of Urbana. He's a retired attorney at law. He's also a member of the Civilian Police Review Board, and he has volunteered to serve on this board as well.
I'll move approval of the appointment.
And I'd second that.
Moved by Jared, seconded by Dennis. Any discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. That motion passes. And then we have two more appointments. The first is for Deputy Chief of Police. And I submit for your approval Lieutenant Richard Searles. This would become effective September 28th, 2019, and this will take effect when Deputy Chief Bob Fitzgerald retires after a very long career in police service. So Rich is an Urbana High School graduate and a graduate of the University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign. He has a sociology degree, and he began his employment with the Urbana Police Department in 1997. He served as a patrol officer for 5 years, during which he was an emergency vehicle operator course instructor for the Mobile Training Unit. In December 2002, Rich was assigned to the Criminal Investigations Division as a detective, where he primarily worked on serial and violent crime. In April of 2007, he became a sergeant and was assigned to the Patrol Division. While in that capacity, he was responsible for supervising 2 shifts of patrol officers, managing crime scenes, and investigation of all crimes. He was promoted to lieutenant in October of 2010. He remained in patrol and oversaw the operation of that division for over 5 years, where he was responsible for all departmental training and supervision of patrol officers and sergeants on all shifts, as well as the street crimes unit officers. And then during that time, he also began serving as the Urbana commander of Metro SWAT and supervised multi-jurisdictional SWAT operations in Champaign County. In September of 2015, Rich was assigned as the Lieutenant of Criminal Investigations Division and continues to serve in that role today. He currently supervises a detective sergeant, adult and juvenile detectives, street crime detectives, school resource officers, division administrative assistant, and the evidence custodian. And I'd like to congratulate Rich and his family.
Thank you very much. I appreciate being recommended by the chief, and I'd like to thank the council for your consideration.
Thank you. Is there a motion for this?
I think since Rich put up with me for 15 years, I should make the motion to make him the Deputy Chief of Police, please.
Is there a second?
I'd like to second that then.
That's a very special motion, Dean.
It's a heartfelt motion.
Any further discussion? All those in favor, please. Oh, Jared.
I just wanted to ask Richard if he could tell us a little bit about what he's looking forward to in his new role as Deputy Chief.
Oh, okay. So, you know, I think that the department has got a lot of things going for it. There's a number of officers here that really do a tremendous job. So I'd really like to get the operations smooth out in a couple different areas and just continue to have the officers perform at the level they're performing. So I've got a couple ideas of a couple things I want to do, some of which scare the chief, some of which don't. So we'll see what we can get him to agree to.
I'd highly encourage you to reach out to the council members to fill us in as you guys figure out new ways to do stuff and as you challenge the chief and all his great ideas.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you.
One thing I've observed about Rich, he's very good at communication, and I appreciate that. He keeps us very well briefed.
Thank you.
Eric.
Yeah, I happen to like to read crime stories, and Rich, yours are some of the best.
I've had a couple doozies over the years, so yeah, there's especially lately.
I have learned a lot, I can tell you. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? That motion passes. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And my next appointment that I'm putting before you is for Lori Pearson. And this would become effective October 17th, 2019, which is the date upon which John Schneider's retirement becomes effective. And this is for Community Development Services Department Director. So Lori graduated with a master's in urban planning from the University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign, where she received the Planning Advisory Council Chairman's Award. She worked in several leadership roles at both the federal and municipal level, including the U.S. Agency for International Development in Washington, D.C., and the cities of Alexandria, Virginia, Evanston, Illinois, and the city of Champaign. Lori has been employed with the city of Urbana since May of 2015, has served in various iterations as the planning manager of the Community Development Services Department, each increasing her workload and responsibilities. In 2017, she became the planning manager/zoning administrator. In July of this year, she was appointed the Deputy Community Development Director Planning Manager. During her tenure with the City of Urbana, Lori has served as a staff liaison for 4 boards and commissions, has led several community engagement efforts, including the successful What's in Your Square public input process last year. She prepares and manages the Planning Division's budget and leads an interdepartmental annexation policy team to achieve the city's growth goals. And I can add that Lori has done a tremendous job in coordinating things in her division, and she will be leading the effort to rewrite the comprehensive plan beginning maybe even later this year, but we'll certainly begin to lay the groundwork this year, and it'll take upwards of 2 years to complete that. It'll be a massive effort, and her team that she has trained very well is going to be on board for that. So anybody have any questions or comments for Lori? Dennis?
Well, I'm going to support this nomination. Well-deserved, real professional work coming from you, and your insight and your flexibility and your patience has been noted by myself, having probably tried you several times. So I really think it's an excellent thing, and congratulations. And I'm going to then offer your name in nomination. I support this, and I'd like to make a motion to place your name into a nomination for this.
Is there a second?
Second.
Moved by Dennis, seconded by Sharice. Any further discussion? Sharice?
Grocery store.
Got it.
Still looking for that to come up.
So noted.
Okay.
Right, we have enough apartments. Now we need a grocery store.
So noted.
Especially on my side of town.
Any other questions? Bill?
Bike infrastructure.
Love bikes. Good.
And include bike and pedestrian planning in the subdivision plan.
Okay. We had a motion by Dennis, seconded by Sharice. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed, same sign. That motion passes.
Thank you.
Congratulations, Lori. And with no further business before this council, this meeting is adjourned. Thank you very much.